Yo, people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another video. Now, listen, I've got a very special one lined up today. I'm very much looking forward to this. You already know in the Chelsea community, we are beefing with Barcelona in every single aspect. They took a player of ours today in Christensen. That was officially announced. And every single player we want, they want. And every single player we want, their preference is Barcelona. So we're hurting right now. It's not easy. And joined on with me today is Alex, the Barcelona fan. Pleasure to have you, Alex. How are you, first of all?
Hi, thank you so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here, and actually a lot of things to discuss because, as you said, it seems like Chelsea and Barcelona are fighting for the same player. So it's kind of a strange situation, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a really interesting transfer market. And let's see. We have to talk about Marcos Alonso, Azpilicueta, Dembele, Raphinha. Anyway,
it's going to be a mad one. Let's get straight into it. I mean, first of all, I think the best way to start is, of course, like you said, Raphinha, Azpilicueta, Kounde as well, Alonso, even Dembele, a little bit of Jong as well, because obviously there was a small link from us, but mostly to Manchester United. And probably more. I'm sure more will come up. Koulibaly's been mentioned as well, who we're both looking at. First of all, the economic situation for you guys, because you've had these levers, you know, you've had the TV rights. I don't know if it's 10% you sold going to 15 to 20. I know there's little stages that are going on. Spotify have come in now. That's the sponsor. That's the stadium. So there's more economic levers to come. First of all, I have to ask you, as a Barcelona fan, are you happy to see these economic levers, or are you worried about the long-term future of your club? Do you feel like you're kind of, we have an expression, kicking the can down the road, where you're kind of just pushing back the problem and not dealing with it now, which is maybe to bring your wage budget down, maybe bring a couple players off the wage bill, sell, and just maybe, yes, have less quality, but try and stabilize a little bit?
Yeah, that's a debate. That's a good question. Actually, in a first instance, I would say that business-wise, it's totally wrong. I mean, this is something that will save you in the current market, but will hurt you definitely in the long run, no? In the long term. At the moment, we sold 10% of the TV rights, and we earned like 207 million euros. And now we are going to sell the 15%. Also, that we have approved until 25%. So we are selling now the 15%. I think we will make like around 400 millions.
Wow.
Which, you know, we have to decide. And actually, Barcelona board had to decide if waiting maybe 2, 3, 4 years, selling players, trying to reduce salaries, and maybe not being that competitive. Or the other option, because you have to sell this to the fans, right? Like we will be like 4 years, maybe not competitive, not claiming for the Champions League. Even, you know, having difficulties for the National League. So I think what the board did, it was like, okay, let's do a quick fix, selling all these TV rights, and now let's see if they spend the money, you know, with common sense, because it's, for me as a Barcelona football fan, it's worrying. I mean, in the long term, it's not a good situation to be.
It's like a gunshot over a plaster over a gunshot wound. Literally, you know, that's how it feels like. You just put a plaster on it, you stop the bleeding for maybe 5 minutes, and then it will start bleeding all over again. When I look at Barcelona, you guys obviously, you know, during Guardiola's time, you stood for, you know, the academy, the beautiful football, the tiki-taka, and then it kind of became a very weird transfer situation where some of the players that you were signing didn't make any sense. The Boatangs, the Paulinhos, you know, you were interested in Willian. Chelsea fans were going crazy. We were like, you want to pay 50 million for Willian? This is brilliant. You know, you've signed so, and then you've had massive transfers, you know. Obviously, when the whole Super League came about and Perez was talking about not having enough money, we didn't really feel sorry for you guys. You know, you spent 100 million on Dembele, 100 million on Griezmann, Coutinho. They had Hazard, they had Bale, they had all of these big, massive transfers that didn't really work out. And now the direction at Barcelona, it seems a bit confusing, you know, in terms of like the players that you're looking at. Because I'm looking at Alonso and Azpilicueta, two players that, in my opinion, have started to drop off. They're not the quickest. They're not exactly expansive, ball-playing, technical fullbacks in any regard that you're maybe used to with Jordi Alba, with Dani Alves over the years, etc. But they seem to be players that you want to bring in on the wrong side of 30, maybe because they're cheaper deals. And then obviously De Jong, a very, very good technical player that you're maybe willing to get rid of because to bring in money. But apparently everything coming out of media in Spain, and that's the first thing I want to talk to you about as well, is what's coming out of Spain media-wise. Is it to be trusted? I think his name is Gerard Moreno, is it, on Twitch?
Gerard Romero.
He was having a big party. I was listening. I couldn't understand any Spanish, but it was a rave. Colors were blossoming. It was nuts. Is what's coming out of Spain to be believed that De Jong, I mean, it seems like everybody does want to join, but is De Jong, are you trying to keep De Jong, or is De Jong part of your plan to sell and make money to bring in others?
Well, there is a lot of confusion because, of course, Barcelona is providing information to the journalists, and of course, it's an information that Barcelona wants to be released in their own interest. So not everything is true. It's what Barcelona wants to sell, right? In regards of Frankie, Laporta, Barcelona president, yesterday was assuring that Frankie is not on the market, that he wants to keep it. But the reality is that Barcelona and Manchester United were negotiating for the last weeks, and actually Frankie and Manchester are negotiating as well. So if you don't want to sell a player, you are not negotiating with another team, right? I mean, you don't even start negotiations.
Exactly.
So there is a lot of information that comes from the club. And of course, it's an information that, the club have the interest on releasing this information. Gerard Romero, this journalist, he's very good. I mean, he's a journalist that do a lot of great work trying to digging in the information. He's moving a lot. So I think he's very reliable. The only problem with the information he released on Friday, this information was a little bit for me on Barcelona interest.
Yes.
And I'm going to explain, okay? On Saturday, there was a football game in the Camp Nou between Laporta and some journalists. Some journalists and some YouTubers were invited. Okay. So Laporta, send this message to these guys like, okay, yes, Raphinha is almost done, blah, 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 no? Why? Because he wants to put pressure on Dembele.
Yeah.
We know that Dembele is out of contract and Barcelona are not going to increase the offer for Dembele. So this was a message like, okay, let's release this in the press that Raphinha is done, where Raphinha is not done. I mean, there is no agreement between Barcelona and Chelsea, and Leeds. For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that there is disagreement between Chelsea and Leeds, which I think is for 75 millions. But Raphinha...
Yeah, I think it was £65 million.
Yes.
Including add-ons, so with everything completed. And I think 55 million is what the initial fee was going to be. You guys apparently reportedly was going to pay in 3 installments, 3 different packages in terms of payment. Yeah. But I don't think that hasn't been accepted by, a lot of journalists have been reporting it's not been accepted by Leeds because it's a lower offer. Yeah.
And actually, exactly, the information was like 60 million euros and Leeds is not going to sell Raphinha for this amount.
Yeah.
What is true is that the player, he has the desire to play for Barcelona, but of course, if Chelsea comes across, I mean, he will be more than happy to join. It's about money.
Yeah,
let's face it, it's about money. And Barcelona, at this moment, Barcelona cannot make an investment, a 60, even not 40, 50 millions investment for a player. Even if you pay with 1, 2, or 3 installments, it doesn't matter. It's about the fair play of La Liga.
Yeah,
that's a problem. I mean, Barcelona has money, okay? Barcelona or Real Madrid or these big clubs, Chelsea, anyway, you can go to the bank and you get money straight away. This is not the issue. The issue is that even that you can buy players, you cannot inscribe them in La Liga. Here is the big issue. And for this reason, Barcelona now, more than thinking on signing players, have to think on releasing players.
Yeah, you have to register a certain amount of players, isn't it? And you could also only have a certain amount of foreign internationals, I think it is, outside of the EU, is it? So,
yes.
So you haven't reached that limit, have you? I know Real Madrid have, because they were going to look at Gabriel Jesus. There was some reports, but then they have overstepped that limit. You guys haven't hit that threshold, have you?
The problem more than that is about the financial.
Yeah.
So what the Liga does is the Liga calculate the income that you have and the expenses, okay? and then they calculate how much you can put on salaries, on player salaries for players or for transfers.
Yeah.
And at this moment, Barcelona has problems with these figures, with this budget.
And that's why you're trying to reduce the salaries of Dembele and Jong, because you can't register any more players. Is that what it is?
Exactly. Actually, for registering now Christensen and Kessié, we can do it because we sold part of the TV rights.
Yes.
But that's the thing. I mean, and it's a pity as a Barcelona fan, but what President Laporta, he likes to talk, he likes to create emotions, but most of the things he say are not true, are more based on desires than on reality.
Getting fans excited.
Exactly. He said in the first instance when he was claiming for becoming a president that he will renew Messi, and then Messi, after 1 month, he was leaving,
Was leaving, yeah.
Exactly. So I think I understand that you have to sell emotions to the football fans, but I think you have to be responsible and to talk about the real situation. And the real situation as per today is that Barcelona cannot make these signings, and I don't think that Raphinha will wait 2-3 weeks. Exactly. I think players want to join a team, wants to start the preseason and forget about
World Cup's coming up. Yeah, the World Cup. Exactly. So would you, and my question always was, because for Chelsea fans, they're obviously been looking at the Raphinha thing. His preference is to join Barcelona. I've always said, as football fans, it's always important not to get too emotional about players' preferences. I remember Fabregas's preference was to play for Arsenal. We took him because Arsenal never bid. Werner's preference was to go to Liverpool. We took him. Liverpool didn't get a deal done. Players always have preferences. As long as they're professional and play for your club, then it doesn't really matter who they support, what picture on the wall they had when they was a kid, So I'm very happy to still have Raphinha 100% as a Chelsea fan. I think he's exactly what we want and what Tuchel wants, more importantly. But you were listed there in terms of your priorities, because it's very clear to me that not only is Raphinha a preference to stay at Barcelona, but I think Dembele's preference is also to stay at Barcelona. With the form he had at the end of the season, he was racking up a lot of assists. I think he finished top assister or top joint assister.
Yeah.
Xavi really likes him as well. It was more a hierarchy issue in January, wasn't it? He felt maybe a little bit of disrespect. They were obviously trying to kick him out the door because of the high wages. And then he was saying, and listen, we're not going to move until the summer. PSG didn't come with an offer, new sporting director with Campos. Is it your priority to keep Dembele over sign Raphinha if you have to pick one? Because it was always under my assumption that you wouldn't have Raphinha and Dembele. That's just maybe too much to try and do, because obviously Lewandowski is another player you want.
That's the thing. Xavi's preference is Dembele. And he demonstrated this because, as you said, on January, Dembele was out. On January, the decision on Barcelona board was not letting him play anymore. And that's it. But Xavi was pushing a lot. And I think, again, it's a strategy. Barcelona cannot afford to buy all these players. I mean, maybe if you sold these TV rights, you can make Lewandowski and even Kounde signing. Maybe.
Yeah.
But you cannot sign for sure Bernardo Silva, Raphinha, Lewandowski, Kounde. You cannot do it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not possible. So I think that this what Barcelona is doing is pressuring Dembele, because they are offering him a lower salary.
Yeah.
The problem of Dembele was what the old president from Barcelona paid for him, because we were paying like 160 million for Dembele. We were paying also him like 24 million euros on salary.
Too much.
On an annual basis. It's too much. And it's not players' fault. I mean, the players sign the contract, they play, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think for Barcelona, it's smarter to secure Dembele.
Can I ask as well, why did you pay Dembele so much? Like, where did he get to a point where he's earning 300? Because I remember Dembele, he kind of left early Dortmund. He wanted to come to Barcelona so badly that he left Dortmund early without permission. He didn't leave in the best state. So he was desperate to come to you guys. How did you end up negotiating a deal
Well,
that was just so high? Like, where's the negotiation skills? Because I ask about my club all the time. Werner, when we signed him, was on 120,000. We put him on 270. Chilwell was on, God knows, maybe 100, under 100 at Leicester, I'm sure. We put him on 190. What is the negotiation skills? What's going on? Why are these players on stupid money when they want to come to our clubs as well?
Yes, well, basically, first of all, not now, but the old president was paying a lot of money on commissions.
Okay.
Commissions that are not declared. I mean, normally the salaries and transfers, they are not public, they are not accurate. Maybe journalists can throw a figure, but clubs are not obligated to declare all these numbers.
Yep.
So in Barcelona, we had a lot of these transfers with a lot of commissions on the back. And in Dembele's case, I mean, it was a horrible negotiation, in my point of view, because Borussia Dortmund got Dembele from Rennes for 15 million, I think, 1 year before.
Yeah.
And then Barcelona, it was the year that we sold, well, PSG bought Neymar for 222 million. And then Barcelona
went crazy.
Went crazy and started to sign Dembele for 160, Coutinho for 140. And then, of course, Dembele had this, higher salary.
And lots of injuries as well. Yeah. And you didn't really get your money's worth with the injuries as well. Yeah.
That's the thing. And this is unlucky. I mean, that a player can get injured or, don't fit in the team. This is fine. I mean, it's the case on Frenkie de Jong. Frenkie de Jong, for me, he's a top player. Super top. But for any reason, I think he was unlucky that Barcelona was changing coach every year. And he came in a really bad period. He wasn't able to show what he have. And for sure, if he goes to Manchester with Ten Hag, he will smash it. For me, he's a top level. But yeah, Dembele, in this case, basically we paid money, we paid commissions, but we don't know exactly the amount. What we know is that the old president was wasting money, but tons of money. That's why we are on this situation.
That's crazy. I mean, yeah, it's just fascinating because both of our clubs wage-wise are obviously, you guys are a bit worse off. Obviously, you've got a lot of debt. How much debt are you guys in, can I ask? Because we had a change of ownership. We were in a lot of debt, as everybody knows, and Abramovich didn't ask for that back or whatever happened there. Now we're debt-free, so we're kind of thankfully starting from zero a little bit. We can kind of correct ourselves. But how much debt are you guys in at the moment? Because it's just staggering.
Barcelona's debt is 1,300 million euros. Which is a lot. and just to put some numbers in context, I think it was on 2012, our debt was around 200 million euros. And in the last 5 years, it was increasing until reaching this point. Moreover, we are going to build a new stadium now.
Really?
So we are also getting money from an investment company. Yeah. And it will be like 1,500 million euros. So the debt will increase to the double, almost 3,000 euros. Yeah. 3,000 million euros. So it's crazy. I mean, if Barcelona was a normal company, it will shut down the
100%. Because I know that a lot of the comments, because I did a video the other day where I pretended like I was hacked by a Barcelona fan to try and sell you Marcos Alonso. I pretended to be a Barcelona fan.
I saw it. Good try.
Good try. So I need to brush up on my Spanish. I didn't have more than one sentence, and I've actually been to Barcelona, a beautiful city. So obviously, you're in financial difficulty as well, but then at the same time, I also saw this thread. I'm going to come back to something else. I have to make sure I remember this point here. I saw a thread on Twitter. I don't know how true it is, but Deco apparently earlier on in the season when he expected Leeds to be relegated, and then you had that 25 million release clause to get Raphinha. That's a lot easier to stomach. Obviously, it's not as big a fee. I think Bayern Munich also looking at him as well, potentially if that fee was going to be really low to maybe replace Gnabry. They didn't get relegated. He's now at a higher fee. But apparently Deco took agent fees or took some sort of deal with you guys before the Leeds transfer obviously was agreed on the Leeds side. And now that's why he's really pushing this move to Barcelona, because he's kind of messed up in the past and agreed terms where he shouldn't. I don't know if you've seen that or if there's any truth.
Let me tell you something about the Deco situation. Deco works for Barcelona. He's in charge of the Brazilian market, so he has a salary from
Okay.
Barcelona.
Right.
Now I'm going to tell you something that is what I feel, okay? What I smell
Yeah.
about this situation. And all the performance, Deco being in Barcelona's offices last week, for me, it was
For
a show.
birthdays?
It was a show. It was a show. Like, for me, what he's trying to do, because of course he get commission on Raphinha's transfer, he's trying to increase Raphinha's salary and to get the best conditions for the player. And I think because he's very good friend of Laporta, maybe he asked him for like, okay, help me to do this performance, and then we can, work around in another deals or something like that.
Oh, really? You think this
So-
is a little bit of a game?
I think so. I mean, they love to play these games. They love it. They love it to do this performance. Like
So
otherwise,
to put pressure on Chelsea to bring that wage up.
Exactly.
Wow.
And also to pressure Dembele. I think it's a game, purely a game. Because think about it. If Deco has been in Barcelona for so many times. So many times. And we didn't catch him. The media didn't catch him.
No pictures.
No pictures. And now he was walking slow down, just going to eat to a restaurant. And like something that he wanted, that the media to catch him, to make pictures of him. So it smelled a little bit like performance, like, okay.
Get you.
They love to play.
And then
these
obviously
games.
with the leaks as well, we're favourites to sign him. It puts more pressure on Chelsea because a lot of Chelsea fans feel like, oh, maybe we should just take our bid off the table. But the reason why I don't want us to do that, because every single leak in terms of this Raphinha to Barcelona deal is coming from Spain. We haven't really heard anything from England sources in terms of the guys that we know Chelsea and know what's going on, that this Raphinha to Barcelona deal is going to happen. Also, the market isn't great right now. Our alternatives have been Neymar, Ronaldo, just ridiculously not really sensible deals that really don't make much sense from a footballing perspective in the long term. We're just panic buying now when Raphinha really is, in my opinion, the best target to go for, because that's what Tuchel really wants and suits. So that bid and that offer for personal terms is on the table. But you feel like maybe there's a little game being played to get Dembele, but to also satisfy Deco in terms of, I can see where you're going.
Well,
Okay.
let's see this week if Barcelona finally reach an agreement with Dembele. I mean, if Dembele answer the phone, because Dembele is lost. I mean, Dembele, he's a special character. So, do you know that on December, no one in the dressing room knew that he has a girlfriend. Nobody knew it.
Wow.
And then suddenly he was getting married. So people in the dressing room, all his colleagues, that he's playing with them every day. He share, I don't know, you are like 8 hours with your colleagues. You travel, you go with the plane. And no one knew about this girlfriend. And suddenly he gets married. So he's a special character, So if finally this week Dembele signed for Barcelona, I think it's a matter of days that Raphinha will commit with Chelsea. And Chelsea also, I think Chelsea need to sign Raphinha as soon as possible, because you don't want to get into a bid with another Premier League team, maybe, no? Because it will increase exactly.
Yeah. But I think the preference was always you guys for Raphinha, then us, and then Arsenal. So because we have the Champions League football, I do feel like we're in a safe-ish position. But I agree with you, I want this Raphinha deal wrapped up. I want Raphinha, and obviously Sterling seems that will happen. Get those two wrapped up. Stop all of this Neymar, Ronaldo commotion, because now you spoke about Mendes trying to push Ronaldo to you guys. This is what's so funny, and it's so funny. I've had you on just after all of this has come out, because we said we were gonna do this tonight, and as we were saying off air, Ronaldo is now being linked with you. But again, you think it's probably a bit of a game. Mendes is just pushing his client out to everyone to try and stir up some craziness. I don't even know really if Ronaldo is going to really leave Manchester United, or he's just trying to force Manchester United to be more ambitious, to sign more players, to be a better team. Because where's Ronaldo really going at this point? Do you know what I mean?
But listen, in a Chelsea perspective, forget about Ronaldo. We have Martin Braithwaite that I'm sure will fit very well on Chelsea.
I'm the one selling you the players. You're not selling me no players. We're not. No. Listen,
I promise you, I drive him to the UK. Don't worry.
I will drive Marcus Alonso to you first. And I know you guys are actually wanting him as well. And Azpilicueta, to be fair, you can have him too, as long as we get a replacement, because there's a little decline I'm seeing. This might be the perfect time to part ways. You're not giving us the players. Ever since, that goal that you guys scored, we will never forget it. That Iniesta goal at Stamford Bridge.
Oh,
We will
but
never forget it.
We
are in pain.
Yet. Come
Yes.
on. Come on.
You broke our hearts. Do you remember
Well, I have to say that if I was a Chelsea fan, I would be destroyed. I mean, it was in the last second. Iniesta, and also Iniesta, that I didn't remember a shot in the goal from Iniesta in the previous 4 years, So it was like super random, no?
Yeah. It was super random. So yeah, it's mad. Okay, so we've established Raphinha. I'm glad you've actually given me a bit of hope. I wouldn't mind that happening, because Dembele, before I move on, because Raphinha, I think we both like him as a player. Maybe, how much do you want Raphinha? Do you think he's worth the money, or would you also prefer to keep Dembele?
No, listen, I appreciate the player. I think he's a great player. Really good player with a good future. I think he has the skills. He's electric. I like the player, but in a Barcelona situation, we cannot pay this money. I think paying more than 50 million for him is too much. But I understand that the market, the rules of the market, and if you want to get the player and you want to get him out of Leeds, you have to pay. But he's good. The only thing, in a Barcelona perspective also, we have Ansu Fati. We have Ferran Torres that we paid 55 million for him. We have, if Dembele stays, we have Dembele. I mean, we don't need...
and Aubameyang as well. Aubameyang play on the flanks.
Aubameyang, exactly. Yeah. So if we sign Lewandowski, another winger is not a priority for Barcelona. We need to reinforce the defense, maybe another midfielder. That's why I don't think that if Barcelona sold these TV rights, they will spend the money like 60, 70 million for Raphinha, to be honest. Even though that for me, I love the player. I think he has a great potential.
Before we move on to other players, how much did you offer Dembele? Because I'm not sure what the current, because you have a offer on the table and you're kind of waiting for him to respond, and I haven't seen exactly what that figure is. I don't know if it was. I'm not going to even speculate. What do you know what the figure was, that the last offer, I guess, because he's dropping from such a high wage, isn't it? So yeah.
As far as I know, it's going to be like around 12 million euros, but it's not. But it's not net. I mean, it's the total package. Like like gross. No, I don't know how you say it.
Gross.
Like,
okay. Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
And is it heavily incentivized maybe to reach if bonuses and things like that? Do you think, or?
I don't know if there is a tons, because Mateo Alemany, the sporting director, he was like, he's fed up with Dembele, and he didn't want to add any add-on or anything. For sure, they have bonus. I mean, normally in a contract, in this type of contracts, they have easy or more difficult bonus. But the total package, as far as I know, it's 12 million, which is it's much less than what he was earning, which for me is good. If he signed with his conditions, it's fine. And actually, I don't think Dembele. I think the problem with Dembele is that his agent was playing this poker, game, and he had no offers.
Yeah,
he was saying, yes, we have offers. He was, talking with the press, trying to put pressure on Barcelona. Yeah. And the reality is that when he ended his contract, there are no formal offers, and not offers as he expected. Like, he was expecting to earn
PSG. A whole group,
like Mbappe, It's Dembele, you are not Mbappe,
Humbling experience for him, maybe. And I think he's very talented, but that injury record, I know he hasn't had an injury since maybe November. I don't know. He's been quite fit this season. He's been fit for quite a while. He's obviously had a good season. It's been a good response from a creative standpoint, but there's still those worries that he could have injuries. And I think that's the issue as well, where clubs won't maybe want to take a chance. So he's got a lot of a smaller pool to work with. I think that's what Campos mentioned as to why maybe PSG haven't come in for him, because obviously there was going to be this French Revolution, maybe from Mbappe spearheading it, Dembele, they're obviously friends, but I think Campos was like, the wages and then the injuries, I'm not sure we're going to pull out here. Okay, so that's cool. Let's talk about obviously your defense, because you said that you need to sort out the defense. We're looking at similar targets. Obviously, you just signed Christensen. You've got, I think it's Lenglet is going to Tottenham. Is it?
Yep, it's almost done.
Almost done. PK is how is PK? Is he good for another season as a starter, or are you trying to replace him? You probably are trying to replace him, is it?
Well, PK is having a tough summer.
He is.
As
we've all heard.
He had this story, with Shakira.
Yeah.
Well, Piqué's situation is complicated because he's not behaving as an elite football player.
Professional.
He's every week going to restaurants, every week
really?
more focused on business than in football.
Okay.
He sleep like 3-4 hours per day.
Really?
Go out day before a training.
Yeah.
So he's not behaving as a football player. That's why the club and also the fans are a little bit like fed up with him because you are earning a lot of millions. You are a legend.
Yeah,
that's true. But you have to know when it's time to retire. And I think in Barcelona, some players are not doing well the retirement. Like they are not managing well the times.
Is that same maybe with Busquets as well? Maybe you say
same Busquets, Jordi Alba, Sergi Roberto. At some point, you have to be honest with yourself and just accept that time passed for everyone, and you have to, maybe choose another league or go to another team. But they earning a high salaries, top salaries, and
they want to keep him.
Yeah, that's the thing. They have also long contracts, which is a problem because you cannot release them.
Yeah.
And anyway, Piqué, we are in the situation that I don't know how he feels emotionally. I hope he's okay because we know that mentally the players has to be mentally strong.
Yeah.
Then you will tell me about Christensen. You will tell me if he's a good signing or not.
Yeah. I think when it comes to Christensen, he's had a lot of development this year. If I'm quite honest, Tuchel's definitely made a massive difference to him. Maybe playing alongside or training day in day out with Thiago Silva since he signed from PSG has helped. Because obviously he's a legendary centre back, ultimate professional at 37, still playing at a world class level. I definitely saw moments last season. Well, the season before, I guess now, where Christensen had to step in under immense pressure against Tottenham when Silva came off, kept a clean sheet, was fantastic that game. In the Champions League final, Silva comes off as well, steps in, brilliant. But then there's been moments this season where Christensen's concentration has dipped. He hasn't played the cup. I think it was maybe the cup final or the cup semi-final at Wembley. I can't remember. Late on in the season, and he didn't play. And then I think he may have had contract signs with you guys the day after. He maybe flew out to Barcelona.
Yeah.
So stomach aches is something that he struggled with as well, maybe nerves. So he does have a few frailties where Chelsea fans will pick at and say, is this guy going to get over this kind of issue that he has mentally or psychologically, and then kick on and be, because talent-wise, he's got it. He's got the concentration, he's got the positioning, good ball playing centre-back. He doesn't need to be the strongest, do you know what I mean? He uses his brain quite well, but I think there's definitely been moments where we've been like, come on, man, pick it up. But I think he will do well. I've always said I think he will do well on the continent, especially I think, in the Premier League, it can be very physical sometimes, but I think he's definitely even grown in that way. But I think for you guys, I think he will do well in that back four. He was brilliant at Mönchengladbach all those years ago when he was in the German league. And he's always kind of been linked with you guys for a while as well. So, yeah, I think as long as you partner him up with maybe an aggressor, someone who's a little bit more
like Araujo, maybe,
any aggressive centre back who wants to take the duels, be in the face of the striker and get touch tight, and then he kind of steps back. I think that'll be a nice blend, a nice comparison there. But so let's go through your back line. Dani Alves is at right back. You was linked with Azpilicueta, who wants to join you. Marcos Alonso wants to join you as well. Left back, Jordi Alba's old, but Marcos Alonso's not young, but do you know what I mean? And then Kounde and Koulibaly in the centre. Who do you think out of those four that you're definitely going to get? I don't know what you guys are reporting at the moment, maybe in Spain as well.
Yeah, mainly what the last reports say that Azpilicueta and Marcos Alonso has everything agreed with Barcelona.
Yeah.
The only thing is that, of course, because Azpilicueta renewed, right, for one more year with Chelsea, automatically, and Marcos Alonso has 1 year left contract.
Yeah.
Barcelona and Chelsea will have to agree on a fee.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the thing. And here is the problem, again, about money, To be honest, if you ask me, I wouldn't sign neither of two.
That's
I don't
fair.
think.
I wouldn't if I was you.
I think, to be honest, I love Azpilicueta. I think he's this type of players that you want to have him on your team, on your squad. I don't think the same on Marcos Alonso. I think he has no level for Barcelona.
Yeah.
But it's what it is. I think they are the targets.
Even after my video, did you watch my video? I tried to sell him to you the whole.
You were about to sell me all the concept, but right in the end, I took a deep breath and I was like, no, I think I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna buy it. But it was close. So
brilliant.
Here, the also what is important is that Barcelona is very focused on the center back, okay? Because in the right back, Dani Alves, we terminated his contract. Okay. He might be joining Valladolid this season, and then we have Serginho Dest, and also Sergi Roberto, who renewed the contract. But I think what Xavi is trying to do is to sign Kounde, and actually there is a meeting ongoing now. Maybe I don't know. I have to check, but maybe it's over. There was a dinner between Laporta and Jorge Mendes. Okay? And then all this story about Cristiano Ronaldo to Barcelona came across. Well, for me, it's bullshit. It's not possible. But Jorge Mendes is taking charge on Kounde negotiations. That's important. So Jorge Mendes is now dealing on the behalf of Kounde. And I think on this meeting is what they were talking about. I think Sevilla, for one side, Sevilla needs money. Sevilla is also struggling with the fair play, financial fair play. Exactly. And they need to sell SAP as they did with the other guy, the Brazilian. The name doesn't come
Diego Carlos.
Diego Carlos. Exactly. And they have to sell as soon as possible. So there is a chance that Barcelona can sign Kounde, and actually the main targets for Barcelona are Lewandowski and Kounde. All the others, I mean, Bernardo Silva, let's face it, is not possible. It's impossible.
It's not money.
Raphinha, we discussed it already. It's not a priority and not for this price. And I think Barcelona will put everything to sign Kounde, which is likely, because then you can negotiate like, okay, if Sevilla is asking for 65 million euros, you can negotiate, you can pay with installments, you can even try to, agree with swapping players, something like that. So I think it's more likely to sign Kounde, because also Kounde can play in the right back.
Exactly. I was just about to point out. Yeah.
So
especially in
important.
a 4. Yeah. He's played there for France, hasn't he? He's played on that right hand side. He's a very good ball carrier, good dribbler. He likes to move forward. And then you can also put him in the centre back position as well. So you've got a bit of versatility. That's interesting. So if you was to probably get Kounde and he can play right back, you got Dest, you got Roberto, maybe that rules out Azpilicueta, who wants to join, but also Tuchel reportedly wants to keep. And I can understand he probably wants to keep a bit of seniority. He's lost Rudiger, Christensen, a lot of seniority in the back line. So he wants to keep one of the leaders. I'm not really a person that's pushing Aspi out because I respect him too much. But if he wants to go, I would prefer that we respect his wishes and let him go so he's happy. But I think he's also happy to just do the extra if he absolutely has to. And then maybe join for free next summer as well. He's not going to kick up a fuss. Marcos Alonso now. We need you to buy him. And I am going to do the negotiation. Forget Chelsea. Me and you, I will tell you the price is not much. Whatever you wish to pay, 10 million euros, we can maybe settle on that.
A couple of candies.
Listen, we need to get this guy into Barcelona ASAP. Jordi Alba's, 33? Have you got
Alba is 33. Jordi Alba seems like very old, but he's not that old. I mean, 33 years old,
But he's been playing for ages. It feels like he's been around for ages. It's just... Yeah.
But that's the problem. The problem, every player we signed for the left back didn't compete with Jordi Alba. I mean, we signed Digne, we signed Junior Firpo, we released Cucurella, which actually we made again another mistake, releasing good players that we had in house.
Yeah.
And then now City is buying him for what?
He's incredible. Million? We're all talking about him in the Premier League, Player of the Year at Brighton. We wanted him. We can't afford him. It's mad. He's unbelievable.
No, it's crazy.
And he suits you guys because he's so athletic, obviously, very good technically, but he can cover the whole side. He's a bit like Jordi Alba in a way with the speed and everything. It's crazy.
And he understands the Barcelona's game, which actually is important because most of the players come to Barcelona and they have to adapt because it's not for any reason, not because we are different, because we have this way of playing that players needs time, needs time to adapt. So Cucurella was a perfect fit. But in terms of coming back to Marcos Alonso, there is another thing to have on consideration, and is that Xavi is thinking on playing with 3 in the back this year. Sorry about that, mate. But
no, because Alonso's a wing back. That sounds good. But Alonso's the wing back.
I don't. To be honest, I don't understand why Xavi, because Marcos Alonso, it's Xavi's claiming for him.
Okay.
And it's something that I don't get it. To be honest, I don't get it. You have a lot of left backs like Grimaldo, even in the Spanish league, Javi Galán from Celta. He's a really good left back.
What about Gaia as well at Valencia? Is he still doing
Gaia and Valencia also needs cash, so it's a good moment. But I don't know why Xavi seems Marcos Alonso. I don't know, because maybe he's different than Jordi Alba, because he's taller, maybe.
Different.
But mate,
I can confirm.
You know what, man? One of the things I'm super pissed off, it was with the goal that he scored. I had zero hopes with Marcos Alonso in the game against Real Madrid.
Yes.
And then he scores the goal, and then the referee. I mean, I still don't understand why the referee didn't get this. Concede this goal. I mean, it's.
I don't know. That game triggers me, because I thought the tie was done. I was over it. I said, I'm just going to watch this out of the enjoyment. And then my team decided, oh no, we're going to give it our best shot. And they came all the way back. And then they come out again. And obviously that whole Champions League win, obviously you won't like Real Madrid, but Rodrigo and Camavinga off the bench and Ancelotti's raising of the eyebrow. That's the only tactics that were involved.
No, it was unbelievable, man. This game, the Chelsea, this game, because in the first leg, I was like, okay, it's impossible. I mean, Chelsea, I think Madrid just attacked 3 times and they scored 3 goals, right?
Literally,
in the Stamford Bridge.
Unbelievable, yeah.
And then I remember the second leg, I was driving and I thought, I'm not going to watch the game because I don't want to suffer. I don't want to suffer, man.
Yeah.
And then I heard in the radio, oh, Chelsea scored. I think it was in the 20 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
And then you put the TV on and Chelsea scored the second.
Yeah.
Then the third, the non-valid one. I was like, okay, it's possible. And then in the last second, it's always the same with Madrid. It's always
it's heritage.
So don't complain anymore about Iniesta goal because there are others that are worse than us.
100%. So do you think Alonso will join Barcelona? Because I've been reading. I'm trying to follow some Spanish Barcelona outlets because obviously you guys, whatever you guys do, is very linked to us right now. Do you think he will sign? Because I don't think he'll be particularly expensive. He really wants to join you guys. I hope we really want to get rid of him personally.
As per today, it's called. As per today, it's called because again, Barcelona has first of all to activate this financial. They have to sell the TV rights.
So the first lever was for Christensen and Kessie. Exactly. And now the second lever will be for, you think, Kounde, Lewandowski.
Yes, we don't have more space. The second wave of money will be for signings, but also for releasing players, because we have like couple or 3 players that don't want to leave,
and you need to get rid of them. Yeah,
exactly. So you have to pay them if you want them to leave. That's why
otherwise some of these too many players, and then you're in 100%. Okay,
we still have Pjanic.
Oh my God, you have Pjanic.
Pjanic is earning 16 million euros.
Can I ask, why did you swap Pjanic for Arthur? Why?
Well, this was a financial operation.
Oh yes, of course.
You know, for closing the balance, not the financial balance.
You had to make a little bit, so you just sold.
Basically, Barcelona valued Arthur on 70 millions.
Yeah,
and Juve valuate Pjanic in 60 or 70 millions. That's why that in your income, it's like you get 70 millions, but it's fake because the player in the market is not worth this money.
Yeah, exactly.
Then that's the problem. Maybe 1 year you can, for all the numbers, you can use this tactic, but in the next year, if you sell him, you will
You're not
lose
getting
money.
that. Yeah.
Exactly.
You guys have really been like pushing back your problems year after year after year, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
And
but you're
it's
just
not
like
ending.
clearing the road, like just swimming in trash, like just.
But we are not in the end of the tunnel, eh?
No.
And actually,
not.
one of the things that I'm 50-60% sure that Barcelona at some point in a few years will sell part of the club.
Yeah.
Because it's unsustainable.
You don't think, because I see a lot of Barcelona fans in my comments were saying we have buyouts on the TV rights so we can buy it back in a few years, but that would be you guys would have to be better, in a better situation. It sounds like you're going to get worse, is what you're saying. I didn't even know you guys were going to do something with the stadium with the investors. So that's another bill, like you said.
Well, the thing of the stadium is that this is mandatory because you guys in the UK, you have an amazing stadiums. Amazing. You are like 10 years ahead of us.
Oh, really?
The Premier League
got a new one, yeah.
The Premier League I think is twice the value of the Spanish league, something like that.
Yeah,
you are ahead. You are super ahead on every league, but especially with the Spanish league, you are way ahead. And Barcelona Stadium is mandatory because it's true that it's a touristic place. You can make a lot of money out of it. So it's a safe investment. I mean, you will have
and
a return.
You're going to get your money back. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But of course, it will cost you a lot of money, and it's more debt. So.
And the Santiago Bernabeu are doing it literally right now. They've been doing renovations.
They were super smart, mate. They do it. They have done it during the pandemic. When the stadium were closed, it was cheaper.
Okay, yeah, of course, yeah.
So they were super smart.
Wow. Yeah. That's incredible. Well, that's a shame. I really hope that you find the money for Alonso, especially because I think you guys are the only club that actually want him. I haven't seen any other links. So
mate, just
we have 5 left backs on our books. 5. Like, I know you guys are obviously in a lot of trouble, and we're definitely not on that level after the change of ownership, no debt. We still have a stupid wage cap, a wage bill at the moment. We need to clear it. But we have too much players as well. If we could release some players, it would really help us. We still have like Baba Rahman, Batshuayi's out on loan, Bakioko's out on loan, Barkley's still here, Kennedy. Like we have 5 left wing backs: Chilwell, Kennedy, Alonso, Emerson, and Baba Rahman, and Ian Maatsen. I think that may be 6. Like it's just ridiculous. So wow, we really do need you to take one of them off our hands.
Did you try to open a donation round in your channel for Marcos Alonso? Maybe it's the better way to do it.
Guys, if you hit the thanks button with the cash symbol on the video, then there you go. That's where we'll start collecting.
There is a funny story about Barcelona. Barcelona was doing a streaming. I don't remember for what presentation, and people were donating for releasing.
I saw that. I see that.
We're
having this big announcement, isn't it? A big meeting, and it was live on YouTube. People were saying, "Here's money for De Jong. Here's money for."
It was crazy.
That was quality. Wow. Okay. So to round off, obviously we've gone through the financial situation, we've gone through the defense, gone through the attack. De Jong's situation as well a little bit. So Dembele obviously would need to take a wage cut. We'll see if he does that, how much he really wants to stay at Barcelona. De Jong. Is there also, just to finalize, because I always felt like if you sold De Jong, obviously that helps you massively in terms of bringing players in. I thought that's maybe where the Raphinha money would come from. If you sell De Jong to Manchester United, just hypothetically, even though he wants to stay at Barca for what is it, 85 million euros, 65 million pounds, whatever it is, you think Lewandowski and Kounde will be priorities? But are you trying to keep De Jong? Do you want to keep De Jong as a fan? Does Xavi want to keep De Jong, even though maybe seems maybe easier to get the money for him, use Gavi, Pedri? What do you think will happen with De Jong, and how much are you offering salary-wise as well to drop off down?
Yes, the problem on De Jong is that he's on this year, because the old president signed him a contract that every year the salary was increasing. And this year,
I think your old president doesn't like your club.
No, man, mate, he should be in prison. I mean, he should be in prison. So basically, last year, as far as I remember, De Jong was earning around 14 million euros per year, and now this season will be like 23 or 24 millions. We cannot afford this. It's too much. That's why Barcelona wants to sell him 100%. First of all, because in the midfielders, as a midfielder, he didn't manage to perform well. And then we have Pedri, we have Gavi, we have now Pablo Torre, this younger that he's very good. We signed Kessie.
Yep, just came in for free. Yeah.
The position that Barcelona is looking to cover is Busquets.
Yeah.
And maybe not this year. We are not going to tackle this position, this signing this year, maybe next year. But that's why the Jong is an easy sell. I mean, it's an easy transfer,
Yeah.
And even though that we sell him maybe for 80 millions or 85, we are not making that much money because we still pending. We still have to pay 45 millions for him. So we are not getting 80 millions. We're getting like half.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean.
It's only 40 millions,
Yeah, that's why the price is so high, because you still have to pay on an installment.
Exactly, and actually Barcelona is pushing. Barcelona is not in a rush. Barcelona, what they are trying to do is to postpone as more as we can, so Manchester United will increase the offer. Luckily, otherwise you get the 80 million, But if you can get 100, I mean, Tchouaméni signed for Madrid for 100 million.
Exactly. And you would say, why not get the same price? He's just as talented.
22 years old. He has no experience on Champions League or neither in another leagues. Frenkie de Jong, he's international for the Netherlands. He has a good, I think he has a good statistics, a good career. So I think we can push. Manchester United has money. They paid a lot for Maguire. They can spend for Frenkie.
But Frenkie wants to stay, doesn't he? From what it seems, anyway. It seems like he wants to stay. Obviously, he's well paid, so he definitely wants to stay and get his money. Yeah. But also, I don't think he wants to join Manchester United as much as Man United want him, because obviously that's a drop to Europa League. Obviously, his old manager's there, so that's a plus point. But it doesn't seem like he's desperate to go to Manchester United.
No,
I've seen a few Chelsea links, but I don't really know if we're going to go for him either.
No, and actually the problem is that with this salary, Frenkie is happy. I mean, you can imagine earning all this salary. He bought a new house in Barcelona recently. You don't want to leave. I mean, he has the contract signed until 2026, something like that. So, I mean, his position is, if you want to release me, okay, you can negotiate with Manchester United, but I also want a good conditions. So it's not going to be easy. I don't think it's going to be quick. Because Frenkie de Jong, I don't see him wanting to leave.
Yeah.
And if you move from Barcelona to Manchester, I mean, it's fine. Manchester is not on my favorite cities. It's also a little bit cold, it rains. I mean, there is a lot of factors.
The life is not as luxurious maybe as it would be for him at Barcelona, and the money he's making.
No. I mean, I like Manchester because I had so much fun in Manchester, and I love the people. It's super fun city. But I mean, if you are a millionaire, I don't think you have a problem living in a city because you have everything, right?
Yeah.
But it's not going to be easy. I think Frenkie. But what Barcelona is asking him is to reduce the salary, but this is not going to happen. He's not going to reduce the salary easily, for sure.
Yeah. That's crazy. Wow. Well, listen, we're going to wrap up, guys. This has been an incredible show, honestly, because we've had great fun as well, going over some past moments between our clubs in terms of games and a little bit of Real Madrid banter in there as well. And some great information and insight on what's going on, because this is why I really want to talk to you, because even for myself, the way the Spanish media portray it is, of course, the way Barcelona want it to be portrayed. And that's why I wanted to get an opinion from a fan who knows exactly really where you guys are and where you stand, and the real from the fake, and not going with the hysteria and whatnot. So it's good to kind of get it all back down, because we know that you're in financial issues and it's not just going to just go away like that. So it's interesting to see how you balance the books and everything. Do you know when before we wrap up, do you know when the second economic levers are meant to be triggered? Or
it has to happen this week.
Yeah,
it has to happen this week, maybe latest this week, but for sure it has to happen, because Barcelona, we started the preseason this week. Next week, all the internationals players are coming back, and then we go to the US.
Yeah,
I think it's on the 12th of July. So it has to happen very soon. But as you said, the media, I mean, the media is a business. Clubs are trying to sell stories for the fans to be happy and everything. But the situation is what it is. And Barcelona are not going to recover this year for sure. And maybe we will need a couple or 3 years in order to be on track if we don't sell the club before.
Mad, that's incredible. Well, obviously you're not in the same league as me, so I do wish you the best of luck, and we'll put that game at Stamford Bridge aside. I'll focus my attention to the Bernabeu now. Absolute pleasure having you on. Honestly, it's been a lot of fun. I definitely have you back on again in the future. I've really enjoyed this. I know the viewers are going to love this in the Premier as well. Let me know what you're thinking in the live chat. Leave your comments. Alex, let them know where to find you. The name will be tagged in the title, guys. Make sure you go and subscribe. Let them know the content that you put out.
It's Gallina de Piel is my channel, and it was a pleasure, mate. Thank you so much for inviting me. Whenever you want, it's great to discuss on transfer market and to share all this information. Thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure. Guys, make sure you go and subscribe. Go and show some love. Like I said, it's in the title. Will be in the description as well. Go and subscribe. For me, obviously, smash and subscribe as well. Make sure you let me know in the comments what you're thinking and feeling. And obviously, I'll see you for the next upload. We've got a lot of content coming out. Maybe too much content really for you guys. I don't know if you guys can handle it. So you let me know if you can handle the content. I may have to delay it. You know, I may have to leave it for later on in the week. So we'll see. But yeah, big up your damn selves. In a bit, people. Peace. Perfect.